Good evening and welcome to the Final Word Phone with me, Majestic. We've just seen Manchester City defeat Brentford 1-0 to go fifth in the table in the weekend where the Premier League title was blown wide open. We'll be getting stuck into that later in the show, but Manchester City fans, we'd love to hear from you as you may make your way back to the northwest and back up north of the table. 03717 22 is the number to call. Elsewhere, Big Ange's nightmare Nottingham Forest managerial career continues after Newcastle defeated them 2-0. Can he turn the tide? Will he be allowed or given the time to turn that tide as well? Crystal Palace finally lost for the first time in 19 games at Everton. Villa continued their winning ways and Wolves drew with Brighton. And we want to hear from you, your views, and all about all of these games. The phone lines are now open for you right now. That's 03717 22 and remember, talkSPORT is bigger than ever. We're now on YouTube and on your smart TVs. So come and watch us in our fantastic new studio on the 17th floor of the News Building here in London. But now it's all about you, your views. Call us. That number, of course, is 03717 22 It's Madge here on The Final Word on talkSPORT. Okay, we will be celebrating the fact he's back in about 15 minutes' time with a little musical number, but he is back. My co-host of the Sunday evening, Mr. Alan Pardew. Hello, Pards.
Man, lovely to have you back, mate. I mean, I'm safely back in my seat.
You're glowing, mate. You had a nice time away?
Very good, thank you. Little trip to South Africa. Yeah, the sun was out. Wild animals bound, and good time had by all.
I feel refreshed, ready to go.
Ready to go, mate. And South Africa, what a lovely place. You ever get a chance?
You ever get a chance to go to South Africa? Whereabouts South Africa?
Cape Town, Johannesburg.
Nice.
But Cape Town probably the highlight in terms of the city.
Yeah,
very nice. Very
nice indeed. And of course, we were treated to more Premier League action this weekend. Starting off, of course, with the game we just watched now, which wasn't really like a Super Sunday screamer of a game, was it?
No. And I've got a little bit about Pep that I want to talk to you about later, which relates to this game. But he looked happy at the end. They've come away from a tricky place, Brentford. It's always difficult to get a result there with a win, but, you know, a kind of win that doesn't really enthrall you that they're going to be title contenders. They're going to be in the mix, of course, but can they win it with that kind of performance? Probably not. Have they won the league playing like that? Probably yes. So that's where they are for me. They're in a kind of don't know world.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because 7 games in to this Premier League season, and you know, this is when we start trying to work out where we might see people go, you know, in terms of the table and positions. I still don't know where Manchester City are yet. I don't know why. I just don't feel like I've seen enough big games for them to know. Like, for example, obviously they got beaten by Spurs at the Etihad.
Which you would remember.
Which obviously I would remember well. No, but, you know, like, it's those sort of games against the Arsenals, the Liverpools,
I don't know. I don't know if Pep's, like, kind of overthinking, trying to change his style. There's something not quite right with what they're doing. This doesn't look like a Pep team to me. There's good players on the pitch, obviously. That, you know, their recruitment's always been spot on. Haaland looks on top of his game. I thought Foden was terrific today.
Good to see him back to his best.
Yeah, good to see he's back. And obviously Rodri started well, and then obviously he's got a hamstring injury, so he's out again. But it all looks a little bit like, I'm not sure if he's trying to change their style a little bit, whether they're kind of caught between two stools, which happens to a football team. You kind of lose track of what all the things that were ingrained in what you did before with a particular manager, who then wants to tweak it a little bit and it ain't quite working. And that's what it looks like to me.
Just got a message here from Chris here. He says, Chris here, love the show, listen religiously every week.
Good, that's good.
He says, can we not leave Spurs chat until the final 15 minutes as we have for the last 2 weeks? We're third, 2 points off the top, beat Leeds away, not easy, and we haven't hit top gear yet.
Well, and obviously had a few injuries as well in that game yesterday, in terms of, you know, the who he could select from. So it was a great victory.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll get some Spurs talk during the show this afternoon, Pards.
Well, I said to you at the start of the season, what I would like to see is the Premier League title coming back to London, personally. Yeah. I think it's good to have that shift of power between the north and the south. So Arsenal and Spurs very much in my thinking. See how I added Spurs there?
Yeah, but Arsenal definitely in
Chelsea.
the forefront of your thinking because...
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, well, Palace, of course, losing...
Yeah, a bit unlucky. But hats off to them, by the way. 19 games unbeaten. And I would say there must have been 15 of those against Premier League opposition, maybe 17, I'm not sure. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
That is outstanding. So hats off for their fans who are coming home probably feeling a little bit dejected at that result.
Newcastle 2-0 against Nottingham Forest. Big Ange probably feeling like he was hard done by again. The first goal, there was a possible foul. Morgan Gibbs-White. I don't think it was a foul. It was a great goal by them. Eddie Howe feels... You know what's interesting? It feels like both Eddie Howe and Unai Emery have got their teams going again at the right time. Both starting off quite slowly. Villa and Newcastle both getting into sort of a bit of a winning formula now.
Well, they've got their top managers, and they've got good sides as well. And it was not only a question of time, really. But it's interesting that Newcastle sit 11th with Eddie Howe, and obviously how he's revered up in the northeast, and how well he's done as a manager, is currently sitting below Mr. Amorim.
Interesting.
Which is unusual, isn't it? You wouldn't think that they're only now 6 points off the top, Man United. And obviously they got a well-earned victory and looked a lot better. And hopefully, which I really hope, Amorim goes back to Portugal, goes to the seaside and has a few days off and just put his feet up and relax. It's very important as a Premier League manager, by the way, in the national break, to go and have a rest.
Well, we've seen you, Allardyce, and Hooley's all having a little rest up on the ads.
Yeah.
My son.
That was an enforced ad.
Every time that comes on, my dad's like, Dad, it's Pards. It's Pards. Listen, so much to talk about then. 03 717 223344. The last couple of weeks have been really dominated on the show because Arsenal have played the 4:30 game. So we've had a lot of Arsenal talk over the last couple of weeks. Arsenal talk is welcome again. Another victory against West Ham. Very sort of clinical.
I'm sure there's a few Hammers fans out there as well who are a bit upset with that performance. Not with the manager, by the way, who I think they all really have kind of bought into and are quite happy that he's arrived to kind of hopefully get them to fight their way out of this situation that they're in. But yesterday's performance was a poor one.
Yeah, so today's show is going to be a bit of a sort of 7-game-in review because there's lots to talk about.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest fans, are you done with Ange already? Is Ange being harshly criticised by the media? Does it feel like there's a bit of a media agenda against him? That's what I've been reading in certain places. West Ham fans, as Pards just said there, you're behind the manager. Are you ready? Do you know you've got the quality there with Nuno and the team? But the performance, of course, against Arsenal, a very good Arsenal.
Well, I actually just want to go back because I don't think the team that Potter had and the team that Nuno has is a great team, by the way. They're going to have to really fight this year.
Yeah, it's going to be
no doubt about that.
03 717 223344. Manchester City fans, are you just going about your business quietly, creeping up the table, going to be real title challengers? I want to hear from all of these different groups of people. And Everton fans, we've got one in the gallery there. There he is, producer Ross. They're happy.
Hold it. Let's put Everton to one side for a minute because you didn't mention the Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. Right. We had a lot of Chelsea talk yesterday.
Yeah, but they had a great result yesterday.
It's a great result and a great. But then that also means Liverpool as well. A lot of Liverpool fans upset yesterday when I was listening to talkSPORT with Roy Jennings. They were unhappy with Mo Salah.
Yeah.
So there's plenty to talk about on the show today. So don't feel like you can't call us. You can call us. This is your show to call. The gaffer's back. Alan Pardew, 03717 223344. Whatever it is you want to talk about, have your chance to say it on the final word on national radio and to the world on the world's biggest sports station. It's Madge, Pards, back together again on a Sunday night. It's talkSPORT. Good evening, it's Sunday here on talkSPORT. Me, Majestic, and former West Ham Newcastle manager Alan Pardew back from his holidays. It's Imagine Pards on a Sunday night where you get to have your say on talkSPORT, where we get your calls in on 0371722 3344 is the number to call us, just like some of the Forest fans who are getting involved already. Don't forget, you can text us on 81089 and 0371722 3344 if you want to send us a WhatsApp message or voice note. You can do that as well. Let's go to Samia, who's a Forest fan. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, guys. Nice to talk to you. Listen to the show.
How are you feeling after today's result?
Oh, gosh.
Week and your team just let you down, and it just makes it feel even more compounded.
I think what the frustrating thing for me is that before the start of the season, I was so excited.
Mm-hmm.
The hopes of what had happened last season. You know, we had a decent manager. I've not had a decent manager for a long time, and Nuno for me.
Keeping Morgan Gibbs-White as well was a massive statement.
Yeah,
I
we
thought.
kept Morgan Gibbs-White. But I think the owner's got this massively wrong. I love our owner. I don't think he's got many things wrong, but this is a big mistake, to be honest with you.
Pards.
And he's not the right man for the job. He needs to go before we kick a ball again.
Samir is absolutely right in saying at the start of the season, you're a Forest fan, you're looking ahead to the season, you've got European football back at Forest, after all this time.
Yeah.
You've got Morgan Gibbs-White signed a new deal, committing to the cause, committing to what Nuno's building there. It just seems such a strange reason for Nuno not to be there anymore.
No, and it was the arrival, perhaps, of Edu that changed the dynamic there between the owner and the manager in particular. So there was obviously some tension there that they couldn't address, which surprised me because Edu doesn't strike me as somebody that you can't, win round. So I don't know where the issue lied there with Nuno, that he couldn't sort of build some bridges. But anyway, obviously Nuno's gone. And I think it was a surprise after what happened at Spurs. He's won a trophy. He won the trophy, obviously, and we sat here every Sunday, didn't we, about Ange, kind of trying to defend him, and obviously he kept losing in the league, kept losing, and then everything was kind of funneled to the cup competition, and then he managed to get it over the line. So there was like this kind of 50-50 ball about him, and then obviously he leaves Spurs, and now he's turned up at Forest, and I think that stigma of what happened at Spurs is carried over. I think all managers carry that to the next job.
Well, he's lost 30 of his last 49 Premier League games.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So it's not just what he's done at Forest, is it? This isn't just about what's happened in these 7 games. It's about everything that went on at Spurs last year as well. And I think that is what is compounding the issue for Ange. I understand that the team doesn't look like it's functioning. By the way, Newcastle's expected goals was 3.5 today, which is a lot in the Premier League. Like, expected goals 3.5 is a lot. So, they've got well and truly beat today. They set up quite defensively as well. When I say quite defensively, I'm being diplomatic. They were very, and last year Nuno's team was almost like set up to like attack. It was sat deep, but it was like ready to go, wasn't it? It was always ready to go. And obviously they was killing teams on the break, and that's just doesn't look like that factor is in there. So there's a lot of pressure building there, understandably, because of the history of Ange, the ways have been appointed, the loss of Nuno. It's all compounding into this fractious situation.
Samia, for you, Ange is not the man.
He's not the man, and I think what frustrates me with Ange is that on the touchline, his I don't know whether that's just the way he is. If he looks down, he doesn't have any emotion in his face. He's quite vacant. He doesn't really talk to the players to get them going and engaging, and then I don't really think that helps. And I'm not really sure if the players are buying into his system and the style of play that he wants to sort of kind of do at the minute.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it, Samia? I can proper relate with you because obviously being a Spurs fan and having it over the last couple of years, my frustration was when the going got tough, I'd look at the sideline and the man's doing nothing. He's not screaming, he's not reacting, he's not telling people what to do. But then, as Pardew said about the flip side of the cup competition, the speech he gave our players before that final is something that you listen to, it makes you cry. So he does have the ability to have
Well, of course, he's got motivation.
Yeah, he's got
skills.
motivational
No doubt
skills
about
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
But it just feels like there's a real disconnect between him and the fans sometimes when he's there, and it feels like the goings get tough. You want to look at a manager that looks like they're feeling the way you are, don't you, Samir?
Yeah, definitely. I think my thing is I don't know if he's going to win the fan base round. I do feel a bit bad for him. I think it wasn't right that he was, that the fans were chanting what they were chanting the other day about him getting the sack. But I can also see the frustration. I mean, I don't know whether the owners got all the hopes on us winning the Europa League, but I mean that's going to be touch and go now because we lost, on Thursday against Midtjylland. So I don't really know what the next step is, but they've got to think, and they've got to think fast because Ange isn't the right, and I think we're going to get sucked into a relegation battle if he stays. Yeah, great call. Thank you very much, Samir. Let's go to another Forest fan. Let's go to Greg. He was at the game today. How are we, Greg?
Yeah, I'm all right.
You're on that
halfway home.
Oh, that long journey home. After watching that, it's even more frustrating. Are you in the same camp as Samir? Is Ange not the guy for you?
It's really tough because I want it to work desperately, but I mean, like I say, I'm driving home and we're just going by the likes of Huddersfield and Barnsley, and no disrespect to them, but I spent so many years watching a team against them, and we can't risk that again. So it's tough. And if today was his first game, the first half he got applauded off. It wasn't that bad compared to what we have been seeing in recent games, but to capitulate like that and show the showing we had in the second half, it's tough to argue for him at the minute.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, that was all, that was such a tricky fixture. Newcastle haven't, really produced great form. It was like made for them today at home, full house. I thought it was always going to be a tricky one that I couldn't see Ange getting anything personally with the team he's got, let alone, the motivational levels or wherever he got that team. I didn't think there was much chance there. But having said that, the games and it sounds like Greg, do you go every week, Greg? Are you every game?
Yeah, and it did tail off last season. Towards the end, it definitely tailed off. So it's not like it suddenly got bad under Ange. It's different, but the form hasn't improved. And with the new manager, you needed that bounce. And my life as a Forest fan probably peaked in Seville the other week. That was just incredible. Finally watching my team in Europe after 30 odd years supporting this club. But it's got to get better. We do expect more now. We've got greedy, and the owner's greedy as well. And we need to see us competing in the position we're in. And I know it might sound a bit entitled being a Premier League fan like that now, but that's kind of what we expect. So he's not going to be happy, certainly. Do you think that's a good point that you raised there, Greg? Because I think, there's some comparisons to be made with West Ham and David Moyes, right? And you look at Moyes at Everton at the moment, absolutely flying. They're doing good stuff. Now, West Ham won a trophy with David Moyes, and, they was in Europe regularly, but then it was all about the playing, the way we're playing. Do you think with Nuno, Edu's coming, right? And obviously being at Arsenal and seeing some amazing football. Yeah,
that's a good point.
And, thinking, well, Forest, we can take them up and they can become this.
But there's also this other question, Naj, which relates to what you're saying, is take the team up a level, to another level, right? And that next level is always control of the game. So what Forest were really good at was handing control to the opposition. They're in control, Forest, but they're handing possession. They're almost letting you have it, right? To find a weakness when you come onto them, right? But that model actually is quite ugly at times.
It is, yeah.
Particularly when you're the home team, right? When you're at home. And those home fixtures become a grind a little bit, but you still might be winning because you're still hurting the opposition in the same manner. And I think the next change to controlling the game and having continuous attacks, a little bit like what Arsenal did to West Ham yesterday. It's coming, you get the goal, right? And I think that's where maybe Edu wanted to go. And Nuno may have been like, well, my tactics are not going to change. That, and we keep nearing about these
do you think that's
lines in the sand.
Do you think that might be a little bit naive from Edu because it's a bit too early in the Nottingham Forest project?
Well, we're not saying, we're speculating, by the way, but I wouldn't doubt that there is a little bit of that. And I also think that what is Ange going to bring? What style is he bringing to Forest? Because when we talked about Spurs, there was a lot of times we was like not sure what his style is. Obviously, the high line, the high press, it worked at times, but when it didn't work, it was wow. It was so vulnerable. So have we still got Greg, by the way?
I think we still have. Yeah, we still got Greg.
Greg?
Yeah, I'm agreeing, to be honest, because we went from Cooper to Nuno, and we were happy to having 30% possession and
Correct.
walking out that ground singing because we've won. So we got used to it. We knew that if we were around like 33-35%, we've probably got a good chance of beating anyone, especially at home. So it is a sense of getting to that next level. I completely agree, but I think we've rushed it. We've got such quality players. We've got players on our bench today worth more than any squad I've ever watched as a Forest fan over the last 20, 30 years. But
well, I'm going to. Well, I've still got you, Greg. Right. Firstly, I want to ask you about the high line in a minute. But these are the stats from today, right? Newcastle had 450 passes. Forest had 430 passes. So, and the accurate passes was almost identical. So you've had more of the game than perhaps you had any time last year, even when you was winning. So maybe there is a style thing there. Is he still? What was his line like today? You know, obviously it's difficult to see it on the TV. Was they trying to force a high line, Forest, or was they just kind of retreating quickly?
It's difficult to see it from the Newcastle away end as well.
Yeah, oh, you're up in the gods there, yeah. I was always pleased you was up there, personally.
That's the thing I'd change, to be honest. But, no, we were higher than normal. Like you say, we were there to have the ball, and now we've got, like, wonder kids like Anderson, who I honestly think he's the best player I've ever seen in a Forest shirt.
Wow.
He's just a wonderful football player. They call him Geordie Maradona for a reason, and he had that pitch in awe today. You could tell the Newcastle fans still really appreciate him.
Yeah, I've got a little thing about him later, actually. Coming up.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. And that player deserves to be in a winning side, and I need us to be winning so we can see him in a Forest shirt for the next couple of years, because he's just one of the best talents I've ever seen as a Forest fan.
Last question, Greg, from me to you, just on the Nottingham Forest level. Gibbs White, where is he at the moment? Not signed that bumper new deal. Is he still celebrating it?
Because of the likes of Anderson, because under Nuno and under Cooper, our team and squad was pretty much built around Gibbs White, and I couldn't be happier that he's still a Forest player. It hasn't worked necessarily for him, but at the minute, he's still getting in the England squad. He's still such a strong player for us, and it'll come back, but he needs to be around players that are playing for him, and at the minute, it's not about him as much as it was, so I think he'll have to adapt that way, but love him to bits. Such a great player for us.
Brilliant, cool. Thank you very much, Greg. Safe journey home, my friend. Right, over on talkSPORT 2 now, you know what it is. It's a night of NFL action, including the New York Jets taking on the Dallas Cowboys, Pards.
And they was at your venue today.
Oh, yeah, the NFL's there
Sam
today.
was there. I was talking to him earlier.
Very soon we'll be talking about the title race, but for now, we still want your phone calls on a huge Sunday and a huge weekend of Premier League action on 03 717 223344. It feels like deja vu, Pards. I thought I got away with it because we start playing on a Saturday. It's a Sunday. I'm still talking about Ange Postecoglou. I thought I got away from him.
He can't get away from him, mate.
Especially not an Forest fans.
He loves it. He loves it on our show.
As Big Ange's nightmare continues, 26 days in and he's already under pressure. Oh, I feel for the man. Call us right now and we will hear from you next on The Final Word on talkSPORT.
Print money. From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But in 2016, Ecclestone agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year, in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across their social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Good evening and welcome to the Final Word Phone-In with me, Majestic, alongside the former Newcastle and Crystal Palace gaffer, Alan Pardew. It's been a very busy day in the Premier League with 5 games, which included wins for Everton, who finally ended Crystal Palace's long unbeaten run. Big Ange's Nottingham Forest nightmare continues as Newcastle swept them away aside at St James's Park. A winner, lads! Manchester City roared back into the title contention to go 3 points behind Arsenal after a winning against Brentford. Villa continue their winning ways, and Wolves dropped 2 points late against Brighton. We want to hear from you on all of those games. Call us at 03717 22 The phone lines are now open. Remember, talkSPORT's now on your smart TV, as well as YouTube. Just grab the app on Android TV and Google TV. We're even on Prime Video to come and watch us in our brilliant new studio. But it's now about you, your opinions. That number, once again, the number I hear in my sleep, 03717 22 Have your views to the nation on the Final Word Phone-In here on talkSPORT. Right. Lots of Nottingham Forest fans getting involved on social media as well. Lots of people not enjoying Big Ange. They're still talking about him on my Spurs group's parts.
He won't go away, man. He's not going to go away.
So, Parts, during the break, you told me something you said in the press conference. This is really important, I think.
Well, yeah, he's made what looks like being the headline tomorrow, that basically he could be on his couch, watching the game rather than be on the touchline, which is a mistake for a manager to say that. It sounds like, you know, I'm sort of doing you a favour by being there, and you're lucky to have me. That's more or less indirectly what you're kind of saying, and that's will be how it will be taken as well, unfortunately for him. So I expect the press boys to be all jumping all over that.
Have you ever said something in the press conference and thought, wow? Yeah,
absolutely I have. And, you know, because when you're under the cosh like that, when you're under pressure, you're kind of looking to sort of let everybody know how calm and relaxed and you are about the whole situation. But actually sometimes you can, you know, put yourself in a bit of trouble. And many times I can think of at least 3 or 4 occasions where owners have said to me on the Monday, might have advised not to have said that actually, in the nicest possible.
Do you reckon he's getting an email then?
I think he'll be getting an email. I don't think that email will be very good, do you?
I think it will involve lots of unpleasant
Greek
truths
words
in Greek. I know a few from my.
Well, obviously, I worked
times.
in Greece. All I would say is they're very emotional about their football. And, when you go into Greek restaurants in London and Greek people, they are they're emotional.
The passion
runs deep, right?
Yeah.
And football is right up there. So, that will be an interesting conversation.
We're going to be talking about the title race as well during the show. So, Pards, are Manchester City part of the title race?
Well, I'm not seeing a challenge at the moment that makes me think that they're championship material. And, we've had those starts for Manchester City before, haven't we, where they've started slowly. But this looks different. This doesn't look like a slow start. This looks like a kind of where are we start. Before, when they've been slow getting away, there's always looked like a dominant team, and the results perhaps gone their way or late goals have gone against them, etc. But I mean, it's definitely up for grabs, and Arsenal fans, particularly after 7 games, are sitting much more comfortably, much more assured than they were after the first 2 or 3. Because now they're thinking we got a great chance. And I met a couple of Arsenal fans yesterday, and very much that's on their agenda. They think they got the squad. They think they got all the ducks are in a row, and the boy they got in charge is ready to go.
Barring, of course, as I mentioned, they lost to Spurs at the Etihad 2-0, and then they lost at Brighton 2-1. Since then, they beat Man United very convincingly 3-0. They beat Napoli in the Champions League, drew with Arsenal, which you'd say is a good result away from home for Manchester City, if they are going to be in the title race, to take points off of your rivals at their place. Got through the cup, battered Burnley 5-1, and a win today. Perhaps.
No, I don't think it's the results, because obviously they're lying 5th. They got 13 points. They're 1 win off the top, right? I think it's just the manner of their performances. It's just not kind of, and I'm talking from my level of eyes as a manager, I'm not seeing that kind of real control. Like second half today, their possession loss. I've never seen Manchester City lose the ball so often in areas where they quite naturally would keep it and have options. I don't think there's as many options, and whether the players, particularly in that central area, are I wouldn't say I don't want to use the word clever, but technical enough to kind of keep the ball comfortably.
Right. It bodes well, though, when your striker's got 9 goals in 7.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. Let's go to Leon, who's a Manchester City fan. How are we, Leon?
I'm not too bad. How are you both doing this evening?
Very well. Listen, Manchester City, I personally think they're just going about their business quietly, and where everyone talks about Liverpool and Arsenal, I think the experienced people that know how to win it, I think that's what City are going to be doing.
Yeah, this is nothing against you, Pardew, but since the very start of the season, I think it's been extremely disrespectful how many people are just brushing City aside, to put the pundits saying, "Oh yeah, they've no chance in this," and everyone was hyping up Liverpool. Look at Liverpool now; they're falling apart. I know it's early days, but City are a team with all the experience of winning titles and titles and titles. Not one Arsenal player has won the Premier League. Now, that's nothing against them. They are a great team. But people need to start giving City a lot more respect, because they're still there. They're still in contention to win it. Like you said, they're only one win away from it.
I think, I think in defence of people who are criticising Manchester City, it comes off the back of last season, obviously, when it was a disappointing season, and then this year,
Holland cracking him in for fun as well.
Yeah, listen, as I just said, you're 1 win off the top. I think it's just the control of the games that I'm kind of looking at, thinking when City were champions, and let's be honest, they've been champions a few times, the control of the game has been a little bit more assured than it is at the minute.
I do get where you're coming from. Completely understand it. But all I'm saying is people need to realise that we're not going anywhere, and there needs to be some more acknowledgement and a bit more respect.
Leon, do
City.
you think possibly Man City and Pep have set such a high bar for themselves that when you don't go near it, it's like, oh, that's them done now, because you have been outrageous in the last 10 years.
It's sort of like how good they can be, so you expect that every game. And I watch it on TV all the time with my dad, and a lot of the time it's like, it's just pass, but then you realise that's Pep's way of doing it. You tire the opposition down, then you break them through the gaps, and he does it so cleverly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, occasionally it can be a little bit frustrating and boring to watch, but he knows what he's doing. He's won that many titles.
Leon, are you going to win the Premier League?
My personal opinion, I do believe we will. I think it'll be very, very close, but I do think it'll be us top, then Liverpool. I think Arsenal might actually finish fourth.
Fourth?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think.
Well, Leon, can I just clarify? You
must have Spurs third, I reckon.
Do you think Arsenal will finish fourth? Do you think?
Yeah, no. I think they'll finish fourth, just because they constantly get those really annoying injuries, which will set them back bit by bit.
Just to reiterate, Leon is saying that, not me, before anyone else says anything. Okay.
I have got one question for you, completely off City. Yesterday, the Chelsea manager got red carded, obviously.
Yeah.
So I believe it was his second yellow, was it, in that game?
Correct.
Right, so he got a yellow card for going down the touchline to celebrate.
Yep.
So why isn't Arteta red carded in every single game? Because he spends more time outside of his technical area than he does inside.
That man is never in his technical area.
Exactly.
He does seem to get a little bit more licence than most, doesn't he?
He really does.
Every single game he should be red carded. So there's not enough consistency.
Great shout. Thank you very much, Leon, who's a Man City fan.
I think Leon's got it in for Arsenal a little bit, I think it was a little bit, he's letting them have it.
In the other world, in the Scottish Premier League today, Rangers.
In what other world?
In the Scottish Premier League.
Go on, what happened?
Rangers threw away a 1-0 lead against Falkirk.
At the mighty Falkirk?
Yeah, at Falkirk. Meaning that Rangers are now 8th.
Wow.
Only 2 points ahead of Falkirk. Let's go to Jordan, who's a Rangers fan. He's had enough. How are we, Jordan?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Well, I'm a lot better than you, because I know I've got a lot of friends who are Rangers and they are not happy at the moment. How are you feeling?
I don't see why you could be happy. Russell Martin. No, Russell Martin, look, the way you have to look at it is he came to this club. If you look at some of the managers that we were linked with and interviewed, you'd wonder how he got the job. At the end of the day, he has proved time and time again he can't do it. If I was working in Tesco and time again my tills didn't end up right, would I be getting approved by the hierarchy, or would I be told to pack my bags and go?
Absolutely.
If the 49ers do not sack him, they are proving that they do not understand the size of the club. You might get away with it at Leeds or in the NFL, not at Rangers.
Well, let's be honest, what we do know of Scottish football is that rivalry between Celtic and Rangers is so intense. There's so much kind of coverage, north of the border of those two clubs. You cannot afford to have the kind of defeats that he's having at the minute. He had a problem at Southampton, overplaying. I watched Rangers the other day, gifting goals. I don't know how the goal was conceded today, but there is a real worry that he's putting his job massively in jeopardy with his philosophy of not changing the way he plays. And if he doesn't start picking up results there, he's going to have a real problem, which he obviously is having anyway.
Yeah, great call. Thank you very much, Jordan C. We even cater for the Scottish Premier League on this show.
Yeah, I mean, I've been up there many times to scout and to watch games, and it's really a rivalry that's kind of off the scale.
Oh yeah,
and when one of them is kind of capitulating to a degree, which Rangers are doing at the moment, and it all looks uncoordinated, and the manager having to defend himself in every press conference. There's gonna be a kind of watershed moment there. Absolutely,
and my late great friend John Reed, who's a big Rangers fan, he would not be happy right now. I remember before he passed, telling him who the new gaffer was, and he goes, "I don't think the guys will be having him." No, we.
Okay.
So he knew it. Just quickly before we have a short pause, I want to send a massive shout out to my nephew. His birthday last week. And not only that, his school, Chauncey, beat Simon Bell in the County Cup on Wednesday.
Simon Bell being what, a school?
Yeah.
Right.
Jensen,
a fellow school.
Yeah. So my nephew Jensen, he had an injury early where he landed on his wrist. He was desperate to go back on and play. They were drawing. He went back on, scored to make it 2-1, then went on to 2-1 going on to the next round in the Cup. So he got the winner. Later found out that he broke not one, but 2 bones in his wrist. So he scored even though he broke his wrist.
Grassroots football, mate. Get that ambulance, get here, call.
So, yeah, big shout out to my nephew Jensen, Ben and all the boys, and big shout out to Mr. Kendall as well, who's the PE teacher who manages the football. And Chauncey won most cups at the most age group last year, so you must be doing that right. Maybe Nottingham Forest need Mr. Kendall to come and change the luck and fortunes.
Mr. Kendall.
Mr. Maranakis, give Mr. Kendall a call because he might be able to give you a solution.
There you go.
03717 22 33 44 is the number to call. Whatever you want to talk about this evening, the platform and the floor is yours. It's Majestic Pardew. It's Sunday night. Good evening. You are listening to the Final Word phone in here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside former West Ham Newcastle gaffer, Mr. Alan Pardew, who's back from his holidays. Back for our Sunday night session together. Right. Excuse me.
What's this background music, mate?
I feel like I'm surfing or something. Just like a strange hold music, isn't it?
It's not really surfing weather, is it?
No. I feel like I was on hold. Put it up a bit. We'll do a hold. Welcome to the Alan Pardew and Majestic Hotline. To speak to Pards, press 1 now. Definitely got that kind of filter, hasn't it?
If you want surfing tips, just call in.
If you want to save your job, then speak to Mr. Marinakis now by pressing 3. Right, speaking of Ange Postecoglou, this is from Paul Taylor from The Athletic on X. Ange Postecoglou says he's ready for a fight at Nottingham Forest, but does expect to hold discussions with owner Marinakis about the future. Postecoglou notched up a 7th game without a win as his side suffered a 2-0 defeat at Newcastle United. There were signs of improvement at St James's Park, particularly during the first half, in which Forest were more organised and disciplined before a Bruno Guimaraes goal and a Nick Volta-made penalty swung things for Newcastle after the break, although there remains serious scrutiny on Postecoglou, who has the worst start of any Forest manager in 100 years. So we are, mate.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's from a journalist, right?
It is indeed. It's from Paul Taylor.
That sounds to me like
from The Athletic.
Yeah, but that sounds to me
on X.
That's a bit of PR for the manager.
Yeah,
either coming from the club or from Ange or from the owner directly. Because when he says it's outstanding first half, etc., etc.
Yeah,
I mean the stats showed, as I said to you, the possession was very even. But the expected goals was like off the scale for Newcastle and like less than half a goal for Forest. So, let's not jazz it up to anything it wasn't. It was a poor display. They got well beat, and the manager's going to fight for his job. That's what that article says.
Your former club,
obviously,
your former club Newcastle, of course, was involved in the saga of the summer with Isaac and his potential, which became an eventual move to Liverpool.
Which I did predict.
Yes, you did indeed. We got to talk about the big man who scored a penalty today. Nick Volta made the German.
You seen it?
Yeah, great pen. I was there watching it, and my wife was like, "He's gonna miss." I said, "I'm telling you now, the big man is scoring, and it's going to be an absolute screamer," and it was. I think he has got the potential now, especially with the way that Isaac went, to be the new hero. The new Tsunami hero. He's got something about. I really do like him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like his sort of personality,
swagger,
his persona.
Yeah,
on the pitch, he's almost like, okay, Isaac was great, but now I'm here.
Yeah,
he's giving out those vibes, isn't he?
Let's go let's go to a Newcastle fan who was at St James's Park today, who's probably seen you in the dugout a few times. Richie, how are we, Richie?
Hello, lads. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. We're talking about the big man now, the German, Nick Volta, mate. I really like him, Richie. What's the feelings towards him from the Tsunami at the moment?
He's, as you just said there, he's got the potential to be an absolute legend at Newcastle. The kid is, he's a kid. Let's not beat around the bush.
23,
yes, he was the golden boot at the under-21s. He's got talent in abundance, and some of his interlink players just absolutely sublime. But what really, really impressed me today was, he had trips, and you would have Gordon come and take that ball and try and slot the penalty home. Today he stepped up and just grabbed the ball, kept hold of it, and to have the confidence as a new player, to come in even as a young lad in a squad like that, to come up. Step in front of the Gallagher, and I sit on the front row of the Gallagher, right beside the goal, and you could just tell he had fire in his eyes. He stepped up there and battered it, top bins in the left corner. There was no saving it. What a penalty!
I think the commentator who I was watching said 2 keepers wouldn't have saved that. Here's one for you, Richie. Nick Volta joins Les Ferdinand and Alan Shearer as the only players to score in their first 3 Premier League home games for Newcastle. Now, that's not bad company, is it?
Yeah, that's good company.
Nah, not at all. That kid, if he progresses on the trajectory he's at now, I think once he got 4 goals in 5 games, he's got it. He's got it there ready, made for him. The crowd already love him. He's got a song which he's never ever had, and he loves it. We love him. He loves us, and it's the start of a lovely bromance. And then the other thing that really, really I'm loving is Isaac's gone to Liverpool, and the grass is not always greener where you go, Bonnie lad.
Yeah, that's true enough.
And I tell you what, there won't be many places you'll be loved more than Newcastle. That's for sure.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Brilliant call. Thank you, Richie. Richie there.
And I tell you what, I was a little bit disappointed in Rummenigge's quotes this week about the fact that the English money have overpaid for this lad, and that Bayern Munich would never have gone to those levels. It sounded like real sour grapes. That.
Oh, that's exactly what Henry Winter was talking about as well.
Yeah,
I heard Henry.
Absolutely. And obviously Newcastle just picking up the speed a little bit, and they got Wissa to come back as well, who's going to be a massive help to them in terms of forward momentum. I think Newcastle definitely are in the shout for perhaps even winning the league. I know that it's hard to say that.
Whoa, Mr. Pardew. You can't just drop a bomb like that on the show. You're tipping Newcastle to possibly win the league.
Yeah, I think they're definitely a contender. I do. When I look at the other teams, if I was Eddie with the squad he's got and the momentum of he's got the crowd firmly on his side. I'm talking about the manager now. He's got enough tools in his little kit bag there.
Been together for a few years now. Yeah,
and they've obviously got the cup out of the way last year in terms of winning a trophy. Less pressure on them. I think they got a massive chance.
You know what? As I said, I was watching the game earlier, and I was watching it with my son Leo, and like Tonali, what a player!
No, the midfield is only Liverpool can compete with their midfield. Their midfield
and Arsenal.
I don't know. I think Newcastle's is better.
Really?
Yeah.
Newcastle are better at midfield than Arsenal.
The three that play in there: Tonali, Gamares. Who's the other one? I can't think of the name. What's his name? Come on, son. This is your game. Anyway, I'm definitely thinking
I'm just
that
shell-shocked that you think they're better than Arsenal.
No, because when you look at the top teams, okay, Arsenal and Liverpool, on paper should be like a 2-horse race. Man City are going to be close.
Joelinton.
But I think Newcastle are going to be the next team, and Chelsea, they're the two that have possibly got a chance. And if they all keep beating each other like they are at the moment, who knows? We could have a Leicester on our hands, i.e. a kind of surprise, which I think it would be if Newcastle won the league, but a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that Newcastle team that started today, right? First and foremost, I think one we can talk about later on in the show as well, goalkeepers are so important.
Joelinton was the other one, sorry, just come to me. I didn't look that up, by the way.
No, but I'm just looking at the starting lineup today, right? Pope in goal. I think Pope's a good keeper.
Yep, we're
right?
happy.
Trippier, top professional.
Top.
Dan Burn, brilliant. The Theo and Botman at the back as well. Then you look at the next six: Gamares, Tonali, Joelinton, Elanga, Voltmade, Gordon. It's a good side. It's a really good side.
You look at the bench.
That's for me. I think that's and I'm a Spurs fan. It's a better team than Tottenham.
Look at the bench. The bench is strong. There's enough going on. Let me tell you, on the bench for him to change it.
Yeah,
and bring
still got Vista to come back as well.
Correct. So that's my point.
Jacob Murphy, Barnes, yeah.
As this league table is now sort of like looking like it's gathering some momentum, Newcastle are only going one way. They're going up that league.
Well, Tsunami, what do you make of that? Your former gaffer's tipping you to be in the title race. That's going to blow open the phone lines for sure. 03717 223344. Next up, we're going to be talking about the title race as well. About different results, though, for Liverpool and Arsenal. That's still to come on talkSPORT. It is the final word here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside former Newcastle, Crystal Palace and West Ham gaffer Alan Pardew. Right, we're going to be talking about the title race, but right now it's time to turn our attention to the rest of the weekend's action, and this is how it sounded on talkSPORT.
And Tottenham Hotspur become the first team to beat Leeds United in a league game at Ellen Road in over a year.
Arsenal go top of the table at a canter. Arsenal 2, West Ham 0.
Manchester United 2, Sunderland 0. Goals in back-to-back games for Benjamin Šeško.
It's a winner for Chelsea. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. It's now 3 defeats in a row for Liverpool.
They couldn't hold on at Wolves 1, Brighton 1.
A gorgeous strike from Daniel Marlin to double Villa's lead and his tally for the afternoon. Aston Villa 2, Burnley 1.
And Everton have turned this game on its head, and it's Jack Grealish. Everton 2, Crystal Palace 1.
3 goals in 3 home games for Nick Broltemada, Newcastle's record signing. The winless streak continues for Ange Postecoglou, and the woes carry on.
Erling Haaland had never scored at the G-Tech. Well, he most certainly has now. It's his 12th goal of the season. Brentford 0, Manchester City 1.
And that is how the action sounded here on talkSPORT. Brilliant as always. And whoever made that package, well done. Using Gaskin and Ben Hemsley's new single, the instrumental of that, If Your Girl Only Knew.
Oh,
good tune under the background there.
It was
decent. Little pumping number. Speaking of pumping, the Premier League is now pumping away. 7 games in. We're about to hit another international break. It feels like another hurdle of the Premier League, doesn't it? One after another. So it's time for us to talk about the title race and who we think is in the title race. So let's first and foremost, let's look at the Premier League table as it stands this right now. Pards, looking at the top of the table, it is, of course, Arsenal after the first 7 games at the top of the league.
5 wins.
5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Liverpool in second, 5 wins, no draws, 2 defeats. Spurs in third with 4 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. Bournemouth, who are in fourth.
Fire, Bournemouth. Absolutely on fire. Watched them Friday night. Wow.
And Man City, who are in fifth at the moment. So, let's talk about the title race. Who is in the title race, Pards?
Well, obviously, you know, when you look, if we go back 3 games, everybody was assuming that Liverpool were going to walk away a bit, not playing well, and when they do click into gear, they're going to just, trample over everybody. Well, that didn't happen. They just didn't find that gear. They found the lower gear and got beat 3 times. So that's I don't know. The 2 fullback situations, which were highlighted a little bit on the TV yesterday, are an issue for the manager. Salah, who come in for so much criticism across the press yesterday for his defensive work in that wide area. Very much like the defensive work he used to do when we used to win every week last year and scoring 20-odd goals or whatever he got. But obviously now it's becoming an issue. So there's that. I think, as I said earlier...
Are they missing Trent?
I think you're going to miss a man of his quality. I think particularly in games, Premier League games, I think Trent was really important to them because he had that moment, didn't he?
Yeah.
The set play or that
pass,
that individual pass that no one else could do, or a switch of play where he really stretched the pitch. I think one of the problems Wirtz is having is that Liverpool are not switching the play as much.
No.
So the game's congested. You can kind of channel them down the sides a little bit. Whereas Trent, you couldn't do that. He would just smash it out to the other side of the pitch. And
that's when Salah would find space.
Correct. So I think there's a little bit of an adjustment going on there. So I think this is an open Premier League, really open this year. Chelsea, obviously a great result for them Saturday night. How are you on Saturday night football? Where are you?
Not feeling it.
Yeah, do you know what? I am.
Are you?
Yeah, I kind of like it.
You know, we just need a bit of a break from it. I've had it all day today. I've had it last night as well.
You get all the results rolling in and all the feedback, and then you got a game coming.
You want all the 3 o'clocks to be done, and then sometimes there used to be about 5:30, wasn't there? After that, feet up, get the takeaway on the go.
Get Strictly on.
Or talkSPORT in the background. Depending on what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, of course. Watch Strictly and have talkSPORT in the background. I do that regularly.
Listen, Fight Night on a Saturday night.
Well, I do listen to Fight Night.
Exactly.
Because we have good presenters on.
Exactly.
Anyway, let's go back to the table. Whereas, you look and ask, in my view, I think it's wide open. And as I said earlier, that I think Newcastle definitely got a shout in this year. So let's come steaming up that league.
Let's have a look at Newcastle then. What gives you the sort of perception that Newcastle can go and win the league? Give me the breakdown on that. Is it the fact that they got that win last year in the cup?
Yeah, I think there's that. But I also think that, this saga about Isaac, and the whole pre-season that they had, what a disaster, etc., and it was very stressful, particularly for Eddie and his team. But they've come through that. They look like they've signed an able replacement, which is very difficult to say when we're talking about, after Harry Kane, probably the best striker in Europe, going to Liverpool, who was previously at Newcastle. This new fella looks like he's got the money. He looks like he's got the personal kind of confidence.
Had a good summer. Had a good summer in the Euros.
He had a great summer, so he's on top confidence form. But the whole team, the way Eddie manages them, the fan base, I just sense they got a chance. But they're going to need those top clubs to turn each other over. Like the Chelsea-Liverpool game was a brilliant result for the Premier League.
Yeah.
And, Arsenal will get beat. How many times will they get beat? Will it be like 3-4 times, or will it be 8 times? Do you know what I mean? So that's why I think that I don't see Arsenal not losing. I think they'll lose more than 4 games. Certainly, I think they're going to be into 5 or more.
You know what?
And that's where it is. That could be open. The door.
This is where it brings in Arsenal really nicely because, and obviously me as a Spurs fan, me saying this will have even more vigour about it because I don't see Arsenal losing more than 4 or 5 games because I think they are so solid defensively, right? You look how they lost to Liverpool. It was a moment of magic, right?
Yeah,
that's the only loss that they've had.
I remember that centre-back pairing getting injuries there.
That's going to be the one thing with Arsenal is going to be
these things happen, and when there's such competition. Now, for example, look, going to Crystal Palace now isn't like going to Crystal Palace 3 years ago.
No.
You're going to a proper outfit. Bournemouth the same. Sunderland, who have come into the division and got their towels up. You look through the Premier League.
There are no easy games in the Premier League.
There's no easy games, and all of it, like going to Villa, for example. So, are they going to get beaten 5 times? I think they will, and I think all the teams are going to get beat more than that. And that's why, for me, the title is undecided where we sit at the moment. There's not a real, in my view, 2 or 3 clubs I'm going to pin my flag to. Arsenal, definitely. Liverpool are going to be there or thereabouts, and I still think there's 2 or 3 others who can definitely upset it.
So let's just talk about what tools these clubs have and what give them advantages over one another. So let's just start with Liverpool. They did it last year.
Yep.
They've made some incredible signings this summer, and I don't think it's clicked yet for Liverpool. Needs a bit of time. They've got really difficult fixtures coming back after this international break. If Liverpool can get to Christmas and be on par with Arsenal, and they can get sort of their new way of playing together sorted.
Well, I don't know what you mean by their new way of playing. What's their new way of playing?
Well, the fact that, they have got someone like Wirtz, etc., who...
You can't even get in the team in a minute.
That's what I'm saying, but if they're going to utilise him after the money they've spent, then it's going to be a different way of playing.
I don't understand, by the way.
They never used to really go for a number 10, did they, Liverpool? That wasn't their style of football.
No, not really. Not like a flair number 10. But, when at Leverkusen, his best games were off the left side, where he used to come off that left-hand side. So, play, the front 3 that he plays at Liverpool, play off the left and come in internally. Now, he doesn't do that. He's obviously starting in this number 10 in almost every week, apart from obviously when he's got left out. I think he's a player that everybody's got a question mark about. I think he's an outstanding footballer. Whether he's going to fit this year, whether he's going to get going is another thing. And as you say, it might take till Christmas to get the best out of him.
Manchester City, we've got to talk about them, of course, because they've won it so many times. It's Pep Guardiola. They have the best striker in the league in Haaland.
Yeah.
That always helps, doesn't it, when you've got that? Good keeper now in Donnarumma, even though they're a good keeper before.
No, they've got
the best keeper.
Yeah.
They've got the best keeper, the best striker, right? When he's fit, Rodri, probably the best
Ballon d'Or winner.
Exactly.
So, it gives you
it's all there. Are we underestimating City a little bit?
Well, I just think at the moment, as I said to you, because it's only 7 games and, okay, we've had a couple of Champions League games and, this and that, I'm still not convinced that what he's doing with the team. I'm not sure if he's trying to change the way he operates. I sense he is, but we're not seeing it come to fruition as yet. It may well do. I mean, the man's a genius, so let's not put it past him. Manchester City are in with a shout, no doubt.
You can never rule Manchester City out.
And Foden, let's be honest, isn't it great to see him back?
Oh, absolutely.
After that low of I wouldn't say all of last year, but a big portion of last year. His touch today was exceptional in the number 10 position match.
Can we have a special mention, please, for Bournemouth? Because after losing Kirkes, Huijsen, they lost 3 of their back 4, right?
Yeah.
They are brilliant. I watched them at Spurs. They came to Spurs. They had a game plan. They executed brilliantly. And I think one of the biggest signings of the summer was Semenyo signing a new deal at Bournemouth.
Well, let's also say about this, that I remember being on the show, I think it was like the second week we was on, and we had a caller in suggesting that Bournemouth were going to get relegated because of the players they lost.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look like that at all.
No.
I mean, you have to say the manager, Arola, and you look at Crystal Palace's manager, Glasner. I mean, that's a difficult choice. Which one would you have in your team? Let's say Thomas Frank, I don't know, decided to go and walk away and go to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Which one of those two would you take?
Either of them. They're both brilliant.
What a job they've done, both of them, eh? And look where they're sitting, 4th and 6th at the moment. It's brilliant that the playing staff at Bournemouth have picked up the mantle from last year and just carried it.
Yeah.
Regardless of the loss of talent that they've had.
I'm just going to quick mention of Spurs because, of course, they're in those positions. I don't think Spurs are anywhere near a title regs thing at all. Right?
Nah, you got a great manager though.
Great. You know what? For example, if we look at where Arteta picked up Arsenal from and what he's done with them, this is a process with Thomas Frank, and I'm on board for the ride.
Oh, that'll be interesting to see how long you stay on that ride.
I'm on there.
I remember you being on Angie's ride.
So we were, mate.
Anyway,
mate, I rode that train all the way to Trophy Express, so I was happy in the end.
Yeah. But actually, I do remember you. Me and you having a conversation about him staying after he won the cup. Prior to that, you were like, "He's definitely got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go." And then you won, and then you went a little bit like
I said.
You did, didn't you?
He's got the choice.
You did. You went a little bit.
I gave him the choice.
Yeah.
I said he'd have the choice, but just to look at in terms of.
Well, I don't think that squad has changed too much, by the way, and I think Thomas Frank is getting so much more out of that group. I know this.
I think the ingredients he has changed, and one of those big factors is Palhinha. Palhinha is tremendous, and obviously you watched a lot of him at Fulham.
Yeah, I really think that's one of the coups of the summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I just don't think we're there yet, especially in terms of our wide players. I think Kudus is great, but the left-hand side, very weak at the moment, and we're not going to get Kulu back, Madders back, even Solanke for a long period of time. So I think where we're at the moment is good. Just to talk about who's better equipped to win the league. I hate to say it, but I think Arsenal are. I think Arsenal, the only reason Arsenal do not win the league this year is on them, which would be mentality. If they don't win the league this season, Arsenal will be down to them and their own mentality. After that win in Newcastle the other week, another tick box. Hang about. One of the teams that we always used to sort of fall against away at St. James's Park. Not this time. Got that done.
Where are we with Gyökeres now?
The thing is, Arsenal
a little bit sticky at the start. He's starting to come good.
He's still not going to be up there with the Haalands, etc. But I don't think Arsenal necessarily need that. I think now you look at Arsenal's defence at the moment. Obviously, Gabriel Saliba.
We know all that.
Yeah,
I think Gyökeres is the key. I really do. I think if that kid plays like he's done the last couple, that header he got the other day was terrific. If he can get the 25 goals, if he can get 20, 25 goals, they have got to be the favourites.
I don't necessarily see him doing that, but I don't think Arsenal need that. I think they've got such talent in other areas.
Well,
and I said it, when they bought Eze, when they got Eze, right, that was basically them going, that's another tick box towards the league. And I'll tell you why. Because when people double up on that low block, which is so hard to break down at times, Eberechi Eze is the one guy that welcomes that.
One of the few in the Premier League who can manage to find a route through that.
Yeah, there's a couple. Doku.
But listen, can I just put on my manager's hat for a minute, right? My Premier League manager's hat, because you've been a manager yourself. But
I'm not in the Premier League.
It's a little bit bigger than yours.
Yeah.
So if someone said to me, which squad do you want after 7 games to go and win the league, right? And the points total that they've actually got right now, I would choose Arsenal.
I would choose Arsenal as well. And you know why?
But I wouldn't 3 weeks ago. I might have chose Liverpool because I think there's some underlying issues there that I hadn't foreseen. Like the 2 fullbacks who come in, I thought, that might take them somewhere else, actually. Yeah. It's actually seemed to have taken them a step backwards. And obviously, Mo, for whatever reason, doubling up on him, the opposition kind of making sure he's ineffective, his own personal where he's at the moment, for whatever reason, he's off it. And so therefore, I stick by the fact that I think Arsenal, on paper, look the best team.
So,
squad.
It is Arsenal's Premier League to lose. They're currently top after 7 games. You would love to
say that, seeing as a Spurs fan, and you just want to see them finish with egg on their face.
I've said it's Arsenal's Premier League to lose, in my opinion, because they're that good. How about that?
Oh, well, that's good. That's very honourable of you.
It's Majestic Pards. It's talkSPORT. It is the final word. Phone in here on talkSPORT with Madge and Pards on a Sunday night, aka Majestic and former West Ham, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Charlton, West Brom. Anyone else? Reading, of course, Reading. Yeah, Southampton, yeah. Southampton, many clubs.
Dan Hogg.
Yeah, God, too many to mention. And of course, me, former Old Ignatian Fives manager.
What was the team?
Old Ignatians.
Old Nations.
Yeah. So my school was St Ignatius in Enfield.
Okay.
And we're called Old Ignatians.
Oh, I
Football
got
Club.
you. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. Won the league. But
Can't do more than that, mate.
Can't do more than that, but it was stripped off of us.
Ineligible players.
Apparently so.
You was bringing in ringers like Madison or someone.
Apparently so.
I bet Madison played it. Yeah.
03717 223344. So, you've heard us speak about Mo Salah. There's been a bit of criticism about the Liverpool legend. Let's go over to Ross as a Liverpool fan to find out more. How are we, Ross?
Evening, Madge. Evening, Pards. How are you, boys?
Yeah, very well. Listen, Mo is a Liverpool legend, no doubt, but he's come under a lot of scrutiny over the last couple of games. What's going on?
I think it might be just, well, first of all, I think the team itself is pretty imbalanced at the moment. Mo, historically, when he's had the ball, he's either had someone running on beyond him, so he's able to offload, or he's able to play it back to midfield, or he's able to do his own thing. At the moment, he's been double-teamed, so there's no way through for him. There's no one going beyond him, so that option's out. And if you look at the midfield, this is where I think the biggest imbalance is for us, personally. I think having Wirtz in there is a great idea, but you can't just have three people pressing on and then there's nothing. You know, there's between Mo and the last man, all you've got is Van Dijk and Konate, and everyone else is beyond him. Because if he can't get the ball, if he can't do anything with it, he is stuck, and he's out of form. I think his confidence is low. I think the team is imbalanced, and although having said that, you know, we are still second, we're only a point behind the leaders, but it's the
Pass. What do you make about that in terms of the?
Yeah, listen. Some of the criticism of Mo, particularly out of the Chelsea game, was to me kind of honourable because his defensive work wasn't on the money, and I thought Ian Wright, to name check Ian, was very sound in his analysis. Actually, he was doing Premier League productions for international football. I was watching it, and his point was that that's an issue that the players need to address more so than the manager. The manager's got to pick him. He's got to play. He's the top man, right? But the players in the dressing room have got to say, "Come on, Mo, we got to see a little bit more, mate. That ain't good enough." And I think they will. The Van Dijks and this world or whatever have got to sit him down and go, "Mo, we need a bit more from you, mate." Because he definitely shirked some defensive jobs against Chelsea, which were really inexcusable at the level we're talking about. Now, he's never been one to really be diligent as a wide player. Most wide players are not particularly diligent, but you need them in the right areas. And sometimes just being in the area is enough. But he wasn't in the area. He was away from the area, and it gave people license and freedom. And you can't do that at any level.
Just to put into perspective as well, Ross, and see if we get your thoughts on this. Ekitike's obviously came in. Feels like he's had a good start to the season. He scored 3 goals in the Premier League and Salah scored 2. So are we panicking a bit too early?
I think there is an element of panic, and I think there's been some expectation management at the beginning of the season. You know, we won the league with hardly any additions last year, so with all these additions, surely we should be better, but it doesn't always work like that.
Yeah, correct.
I think Ekitike is. I'm very impressed with him.
So
I think he's come with a big reputation, but he's putting the yards in. He's clever. He's quick. You know, he really does know. He knows where the goal is, and for me, he's a superb addition. But to pick up on what Pard said then, I think the issue with Mo is he's exactly right. His confidence is low. He's not putting the effort in for some reason, whether he's carrying an injury or whether he's just not happy at the moment. But I think he needs a couple of games, be dropped for a couple of games, bit of a break.
Do you also
get Ungamoa on?
Also, just to bring a point quickly as well, right? I don't think we're really taking into consideration the Jota situation as well for these lads. Like, I'm not giving a pass, but you know, we saw the scenes at Anfield on that first night back, and we saw Salah at the end with the Kop, which was a beautiful moment for me, a beautiful footballing moment. You know, maybe that there's going to be an element of that, an undercurrent.
Yeah, you know, on a lesser level, obviously Diaz has gone away from the team as well. Who scored 2 goals for Bayern Munich yesterday. He's another blow. But you know, these when you put that all aside, there's still plenty that Liverpool have got to offer here, and I think they're one of those clubs. Of course, when you're the champions, when you get beat, everybody's coming for you. You know, it's like, you know, you want to knock them off their pedestal to a degree. So I think they have come up for some criticism that's been a little bit unfair. Slot's been talking about margins because the margins been going Liverpool's way up until the last 3. They were scoring those late goals. So the margins were in their favour. Now they're not in their favour. But they do need to find a kind of a team. And maybe one of the problems Slot's got is just got an overabundance of choice. Like, obviously, Wirtz didn't even start the other day. So, you know, there is a position where he needs to kind of find a formula with the starting 11 and who's going to be the impact players and stick with it for a little while and get some balance in the team. And the right back situation, which has obviously been highlighted by all the pundits and will continue to do so for the next 2 or 3 days, the right back situation definitely needs to be resolved.
Let's imagine Pardew.
From greater access to more races, here's how it happened. For decades, Formula One was owned and run by one man, Bernie Ecclestone. He was old school, someone who thought the sport itself was enough, and there was no need for all this modern marketing and social media nonsense. But But in 2016, Eccleston agreed to sell his baby to American group Liberty Media. It cost Liberty Media $4.4 billion, and they quickly got to work. We got an F1 app almost immediately, and teams were allowed to show us more from behind the scenes. One of Liberty's most important deals was with Netflix, which in 2019 brought us Drive to Survive. The effect? An almost 70% rise in viewership for races in the US alone. It's massively benefited Formula One online too, with a rise from 7.8 million followers across its social media platforms in 2016 to around 50 million today. New eyes are on the sport too, with F1's own subscription TV channel, which people can watch anywhere in the world. But the main market they've tapped into is the US. There's now 3 races there a year in Texas, Miami and Las Vegas, and an American-branded team, Cadillac, getting involved in the sport too. More races seems to be the direction of travel. A street circuit in Madrid's being welcomed onto the calendar, while conversations around a Grand Prix in Africa have ramped up in the last few years. More big events could be in the offing too, after the massive F1 75 season launch event in London in 2025. 7.5 million people tuned in to watch it live across their social media channels, and that doesn't include the viewing figures for where it was broadcast on TV in certain countries. It seems Liberty will do whatever they can to grow the F1 brand. Their efforts have been worthwhile too, with Forbes valuing the sport at $17.1 billion back in 2023, almost 4 times more than what they bought it for in 2016. Not bad, considering it's seen as a sport where people just drive around in circles.
Good evening and welcome to the final word here on talkSPORT with me, Majestic, alongside the experienced Premier League boss, Alan Pardew, who's back from his holidays to cast his eye over the biggest football talking points. Now, we love playing music on this show, obviously, with me being here, and to show how excited we are to have Pards back, my DJ, my selector, DJ Kitch. Fling on the Pardew anthem, please.
He's been away for a couple of weeks, red wine in his hand, sun on his cheeks. Even though he loved it, he was missing his bro, Big Majestic in the final word show. We had Troy the boy, who's a super sub, annoying all the gunners who came from the pub. Troy was brilliant, 10 out of 10, but no one compares to the man amongst men. Pardew. That's right, from Newcastle to West Ham, they love him alive. Pardew. He's the best, he's number one, we say it with chest. That's Pardew. 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 P-A-R-D-E-W. The listeners love him and want to get through. Guess who's back in town?
The Big Bang sound. That's brilliant, man. I love that. Bit of delay going on, isn't there?
Guess who's back in town? Pardew. Oh, wow.
Very good.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. I don't know how long it takes you to put them together, but that was terrific.
Soon we'll be talking about Spurs, and we'll be joined by Bromley boss and friend of the show, Andy Woodman, after a feisty encounter.
He likes a big band.
Yeah, I bet he does. I can see him being out at the front.
He likes a big pizza and all.
The one that you gave us earlier.
Like me that.
I'm sure he could do a bit of the crooning as well. I can see him being up there in front of the big
band. Would he? Yeah, he probably could, actually. Yeah.
Right now, though, we're giving you the greatest quiz on radio. The Mystery Footballer Song Quiz. There's 3 songs in total, which will lead you to who the player is. Remember, it can be the club he's played for, his squad number, a physical feature, a nickname, or anything like that. So, once again, DJ Kitch, my selector. Drop it like it's hot.
Blue Spanish eyes, Teardrops are falling from your Spanish eyes.
Song number 1 is Engelbert Humperdinck and Spanish Eyes.
Even I remember Engelbert.
Song number 2 is One Step Beyond by Madness.
Great song.
Of course. Big Chelsea link there.
Something got me started.
Oh, and he's back on tour. Simply Red, a.k.a. Mick Hucknall.
Is Mick still going?
He is. He's in the O2.
Is he bald yet, or has he still got
he's still got the red locks.
Still got the locks.
Such an amazing voice. 3 tunes there. We're not waiting this week. We're giving you the 3 tunes in one, the montage. Engelbert Humperdinck with Spanish Eyes, One Step Beyond by Madness, and Something Got Me Started.
So with the most successful quiz on radio, we've rejigged it.
We rejigged it.
So we're now doing not just single songs on their own, like everybody's used to. We're doing them all in one medley.
All in one medley. If you think you know the answer, text us to 81089 or send us a WhatsApp message on 03717.
You know, the problem us football managers want is consistency.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want this keep chomping and changing.
Yeah, but what about if you're like Amrin and like you got to change up the system? Text us the answer to 81089 or send us a WhatsApp
I've got
message.
a good idea, I think it is.
03717 223334. Now, before we talk about the Spurs, let's go back to this evening's game where Man City defeated Brentford. After the game, talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, caught up with both managers. We'll soon hear from Keith Andrews. But first, let's hear from the victorious manager, Pep Guardiola, who got his 250th win for Man City today.
Top is cool, right? So, and quicker, faster, better. We did it. We won a lot, my friend. So we won a lot. That's why we won 250 games in victories and in a little bit more than almost 350 games. So it's unbelievable. So I'm so proud, and I owe Sir Alex Ferguson, David Moyes, and Arsene Wenger a dinner. I would pay.
I want our environment to be really uncomfortable. I want us to be niggly, and I don't want teams enjoying play against us. I think that's got to be the minimum template for us, the minimum levels, and I think from that we can grow. What we do with the ball, how we evolve, how we individually, whether it's a back 4, back 5, the principles shouldn't really change, and I just want to continue to grow the team. But I think as a bare minimum, listen, it's not nice to lose. I felt like we should have got something from it on our second half showing in particular. But you're right, to see that level of player and team celebrating the victory shows our players what it means and what it they had to earn it, didn't they?
So they had it, both managers there. Let's talk about Pep quickly there, Pars. What did you make of Pep's comments?
Well, I mean, obviously, the man has been phenomenal for this Premier League era. He's been the boss, and 250 wins was that from 300-odd games. That's incredible. And probably only Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger could sit at the table with him, I should think. So he's quite right in sounding them out. And he's obviously quite proud and respectful of the position he has, because he's had the tools and the finance to be able to build great sides. But, when us managers talk about each other and we kind of all have our own particular egos about where we stand in it all, there ain't no one doubting the ability of that man.
Absolutely. Pards, I've got my yellow cards out. You're not going to be dishing out a yellow card.
Oh, good. I like your yellow card.
I've got my yellow card here because, who was it on the message here just now? Oh, I've lost my messages, but somebody. And I like when people try and get smart on this show.
Go on.
Especially when I got the facts from.
So someone's putting words in your mouth.
Someone's saying, why are you guys reporting that Ange hasn't won a game for Forest? They beat Brentford 3-1 on the 17th of August.
Okay.
And who was the manager? Nuno Espirito Santos. Not the big Ange Postecoglou. It was Nuno. Okay? We know the facts and the stats here.
Okay.
Big Ange has not won a game since he's gone to Forest.
3 weeks. You said anything. Is that what it's 3.5 weeks?
3.5 weeks.
It's still a long time, as a Premier League manager, not to get a win.
The games come thick and fast in the Premier League.
He definitely hasn't had a bounce, unfortunately, which is quite normal for a manager when you go in.
Exactly. Now, because it's Sunday, it means one thing and one thing only.
On your WhatsApp is a very special place you can speak to myself. WhatsApp, baby.
number is 03717223344. That's right, that is the WhatsApp number, and you can see on our screen if you are watching in beautiful HD all the ways to get in touch. But the WhatsApp number is 03717222344. Pards, before I ask you who you want them to hear from, do you know who I'd like to hear from?
Go on.
That person that messaged us telling us that Ange Postecoglou had won a game for Forest.
Let it go.
No. I want them to send a WhatsApp voice note on 03717222344. Say, Madge, Pards, I'm sorry that I thought I was going to be a clever know-it-all, but I got it wrong.
Listen, people...
That's it. That's all I'm asking for.
In the blue... Is it what? The green room, isn't it? The green room.
Yeah.
When we was earlier, we were talking about people who make errors and make mistakes. Sometimes, just let them go.
No, because... No, they wanted us to slip up. No. They thought we got it wrong.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay. I listen to this show sometimes, and presenters, particularly presenters, they get all uptight about stuff. They get, people are throwing opinions and this and that. Okay, he's got his facts wrong, but... just let it go. Relax.
That's a public apology to 03717223344. No, seriously, Pards, who do you want to hear from tonight?
I'd like to hear. There's an interesting thing happened at the Chelsea game, right? So they get the winner at the minute. The manager, who's on a yellow card, can't help himself. Thinking he's just run down the sideline, jumped in with the fans. Now, do you love that? Do you hate it?
I love it.
Where do you stand with that? So
love
that's WhatsApp. I want to hear from where you stand with that. I've had experiences of doing it being done to me. I'm trying to think of Gus Poyet, I think it was, went running down the sideline when he beat me at Sunderland. Anyway, I can't remember for the fact that see how things can get blurred in your mind. But I want to hear about where you think on that. I also want to know who's going down. Are your team going down? Now I look at Wolves, 0 wins. 5 defeats, 7 games played, 2 points, not looking good. No. So where are you, Wolves? I would like to hear from them.
And of course, that public apology, 03717222344. It's the final word with Imagine Pards. I ask, I receive, Pards. Thank you to Lance, who said, apologies, gentlemen. I had my head up my... Love the show.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, bless him.
Thank you, Lance. Big love to you, my friend.
Nice when people hold their hands up. I used to like that as a manager, when players would come in and literally go, sorry, gaffer, or sorry to the team, like, got that all wrong there, nice.
I love that. It's a great sign of humility. It's a great sign of intelligence as well, to be able to admit when you're wrong.
If in your workplace tomorrow, if you make a genuine error, hold your hands up, it will be appreciated. That's true, isn't it?
Absolutely. And especially in this world now where...
Some people make mistakes and hide from it or try to hide it, and that just compounds the issue.
Yeah, and especially in this world now where everyone thinks they're right all the time. It's like, you know what? If you get something wrong, sorry, mate, got it wrong. No problem. 03717 223344. It is time to speak about Spurs. We're not waiting for the last 15 minutes, yeah. We're waiting for the last...
Spurs podcast moment, is it?
Listen, don't forget, there is a fantastic Spurs podcast called Inside Spurs.
See how I teed you up there?
It's called Inside Spurs. It is on the talkSPORT YouTube channel.
How comes I ain't been on it then? Next player.
Well, I've actually put you forward to be on. Inside
I'm not coming
Spurs.
on. I'm still sulking.
Inside Spurs, the talkSPORT dedicated Spurs show that I am currently hosting alongside the likes of David Bentley we've had so far. Sonny Snelling is my
David
regular
Bentley,
co-host.
I had a TikTok of him dancing at Ascot or somewhere, didn't I? That's him.
Oh, yes, it is indeed.
He's a good dancer. He needs to be on Strictly.
That could be a good one. But yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Spurs. They went to Ellen Road yesterday, and for the first time in 7 games before international breaks, we won.
I thought he was going to say something else then. I thought he was going to say first time in, 11 months? That since they got beat Leeds, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, a big number of league games, yeah.
Yeah,
so it was
incredible.
a big victory. Difficult circumstances, 12:30 kickoff up Leeds on a Saturday's rocking Ellen Road, rocking. You don't think so?
I'm shaking my head in like awe and fear of actually when I managed there. Tough place to go there.
Yeah. So
and that bank behind the goal,
is
like one of the loudest in world football. Yeah, I'd go as far as to say that.
So a couple of things to talk about. I did mention it on the Inside Spurs podcast in the week. Vicario, the Spurs number 1 goalkeeper. Now, Troy Deeney, of course, who was your super sub for the last couple of weeks. Great guy, Troy. Knows his stuff, of course. Absolute handful of a striker. He messaged me yesterday when that goal went in. What did we say, Madge? About the keeper. All the best teams, you look at the best teams that win the league, etc., they have a top keeper. Now, as I say, Arteta, he was absolutely ruthless in getting rid of Ramsdale and getting in Raya, who's a much better goalkeeper overall.
Well, he suits the way they play and everything, yes.
And overall, like, as a package, I think right now, I'd have to put... The amount of Arsenal loving I've done today is embarrassing. But David Raya is probably the number 1 keeper in the league right now, I think.
No.
Oh, Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the look of the United boy as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But listen, Raya's a great keeper. And the thing is, I think Ramsdale was a massive part of reigniting the fans at Arsenal's love for their club, the way that they're in a really good position now.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, after it was very flat there for a long time. Ramsdale was one of those people that used to turn around to the crowd, get them going.
Yeah.
There was a real connection between him and that crowd.
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it?
It was very difficult for Arteta to go and get Raya and then change him to become the number 1, but Arsenal have vastly improved from doing that. Now, for me, later on in the game, Vicario did make a good stop with his feet. He said,
right, so hold it. So what, you want him out, basically?
If Spurs are even going to...
Let's just cut to the chase.
If Spurs are going to even think about title contending within the next 5 years, they need a better number 1. Do you agree, yes or no?
Well, I think they've got to do a number of things. That might be one of them. I wouldn't like to say that goalie needs to come out, but I think the improvement of that situation in terms of strengthening the department, I would have it on the list. You know, I think it's important at football clubs that you get, like as I say, the right back position. That you get you get 2 contenders who really got to fight it out. That's your best case scenario. Do you know what I mean? And then you just pick the best one. It's like an easy...
So for me, Vicario could definitely be in the contender spot.
Correct.
But I think in terms of assured, keeper, even the way... Okay, even Joe Hart was on comms yesterday when he watched it. He goes, it'll be a bit difficult maybe to to blame him because the way he pushes out. And even Thomas Frank says, there might have been a bit of a deflection.
Yeah, but he's always struggled, isn't he? Set plays in particular.
I will give him his props. He definitely got a little bit better at that. You know, he was getting bullied by people a lot.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a little bit of PTSD from some of the mistakes from last season. But even at vital moments, like last year in the Europa League, if it wasn't for Mickey van der Ven on that line, the way he come to get that ball from Højlund's head, Manchester United would have got back in the game and won that. But they didn't, so it's all good. But I wonder what Spurs fans think. 03 717 22 3344. Just to come away from the keeper, Kudos opens up his Spurs account with a great goal. And Matthias Tell, who's a young man, only 20.
Good goal, that.
Good goal, really good goal, and a much better performance in general. I will say that, especially Ellen Road, Daniel Farkas type of team, the one good thing for Spurs on Saturday was Leeds will come and play you. So you will get space in behind, and we did see that for Spurs, which made us look a lot better than trying to break down the low block that we've talked about.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that Leeds' home form keeps them. This is obviously, when you get promoted, this is the most difficult year to stay in the Premier League. Sometimes people talk about the second year, but it's the first year. There's no doubt about that, particularly in the current climate where it's 2 years running now, so they've gone down. So I'm hoping their home form keeps them up. So let's just put Park Leeds there, where Spurs are at the moment. Look very healthy. You scored 13 goals. You're looking like you got a bit going on. The manager's settled in nicely. You can see him interacting with the players. There's a love forming there, as much as a love can be between a player and a manager, because there are limits, because you've got to leave them out and drop them, etc. But I think it's a good place Spurs are at.
Well, let's speak to a fellow Spurs fan. Joey joins us on the show. Good evening, Joey.
Hello, Majestic, mate. How are you guys?
Yeah, very well. Listen, what's your thoughts on Vicario? I'm not going to put any words in anyone's mouth, so I want what you think.
Well, I'll be honest, right? I always think it's great listening to you, mate, 'cause I always think, you speak to... And do you know what? Yeah, I think Vicario is a calamity sometimes, and then he'll pull off one game where he's actually a man of the match performance.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's Vicario where's the problem is. I had a little chat to James the other day, and I think Pedro Porro, he can have a great game, and then he just makes silly mistakes. It's a problem we always have, sometimes at the back where you have one player that lets the team down. And I think we need to get to that next level, and we need a top goalkeeper. If we do need to get to the next level, I think you're absolutely 100%.
One thing I would say with Porro's situation is if you ever look at his forward play, he's got the most assists for anyone, from any defender in the Premier League over the last, I can't remember how many games it was. I do think having Kudos on that side has improved him vastly. I think Kudos offers so much going back as well that he protects Porro a lot more than, say, Brendan Johnson did. I know what you mean. Sometimes Porro can switch off defensively and he can be sort of caught out, but I think he's got a lot better at that. I do feel that, sometimes that maybe the lack of assurance from your keeper can make you defensive. You know this more, Pods.
Yeah, but I think that down that side, Romero, that side, Porro, that is the weaker side, I think, personally.
What, instead of Van der Ven and a doggy or Spence?
Yeah.
Interesting. But when Spence went back to right back the other day, I don't think he looked as good as he does out left, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Joey, where do you think Spurs will finish this year?
Realistically, I'd be happy with 6th or 5th. And I think Frank's first season, I'll take that. And it's something to build on. And we'll see what happens. But realistically, I'm not gonna go, oh yeah, I think 6th, 5th, I would take that every day of the week. We've got to take advantage of these other teams who are not doing as well.
Agreed. Or nick a Champions League place. Harry Kane comes back in the summer, and all of a sudden there's a world-class striker in your club. I'm telling you.
Harry's on fire.
Yeah. And I tell you what, he'll win the Bundesliga again. He'll come home and win Shearer's record.
Yeah, I can see that. When you think he'll do it in a Spurs shirt, not another shirt, Man United.
Why would you always talk about Man United? Why would you go United unless you just want the money? Like, it's not Man United of old.
I just like to throw that in.
You do, didn't you? 03717 223344. Unless you want a big payday,
all right.
At the moment,
I've been telling you, people getting yourself dragged down with stress and everything. Let it go. Relax.
Let it go. Right, don't forget 0371722 Coming up next, we're joined by a friend of the show and Bromley gaffer Andy Woodman joins us on The Final Word.
Blue Spanish Eyes.
Blue Spanish Eyes from Engelbert Humperdinck. Song number 1 on our Mystery Footballer quiz.
Spanish Eyes.
And song number 2. Hey, hey! One Step Beyond by Madness. Of course, huge Chelsea links with Madness. 2 weeks in a row, we've had a bit of Madness. And song number 3. Simply Red, a.k.a. Mick Hucknall with Something Got Me Started, of course. Mick Hucknall, big Manchester United fan. The best part of this song is what, Pods?
I don't know the change, the break. What is
no, the backing vocal. The guy that goes, yes, I would. This guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I love that bit.
You could have done that.
Here he goes.
You're right, it's spot on.
Best ad-lib ever. Literally, you'll hear me in the car. I'll be that guy. And that piano riff, brilliant. If you think you know the answer, WhatsApp us at 03 717 22 3344 is the number to call us. But now we are joined by a man who's definitely got our mystery footballer correct. It's friend of the show, Bromley boss Andy Woodman. How are we, Woody?
Very well, guys. How are you?
You look a lot.
I've never seen him with bins on before.
He looks he looks cooler and calmer.
Ridiculous.
He looks calmer
I look more intellectual.
No, he's trying to make
so the refs like me.
I think he's trying to make his head look smaller.
He looks calmer than that photo you just showed me, Pards, of yesterday.
Yeah.
What happened yesterday, Woods?
Well, it's just becoming a little bit tricky, to be honest. The refs are making some really bad decisions. When the opposition manager turns around after the game and says it's the worst refereeing display he's seen in 35 years of football, it kind of tells you what sort of day the officials had. And then, you get not one but two decisions against you in literally 15 seconds, and then the ball ends up in the back of your net, and they don't realise the importance of it, and they expect you to sort of be calm about that, and it's really, really difficult to do, when they're so blatantly obvious. An opposition player heads the ball behind the linesman, and the linesman gives it as if it's in, and it should be our throw. Anyway,
and unfortunately,
I've just got over it, Pardew. I've just got over it today.
And unfortunately, no VAR at your level, I take it.
No VAR, no common sense, no just it's just tough. And I don't like to come down on the refs, but we've really been at the sharp end of so many bad decisions.
I see that. Was it the Stevenage? Not Stevenage. It was the game where you got the penalty.
Gillingham.
Oh, that was a poor
penalty.
one. Yeah.
We could have gone top that day, and now it's knocked our momentum a little bit. That's by the by, that bit. But just the decisions are so important, and the real killer I feel is that my emotion spills over because it cost us a goal.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost you money and all.
Yeah, you get a yellow card, and then you look at it back, and it's so obvious, and they see it so obvious, but they don't reverse the decision because. They can't reverse the decision on the goal, but surely the yellow card or the emotion of it, that should be looked at because it's so blatantly obvious. And that's the bit I'm crying.
Me and Madge would be the bald, right? What do you think, Kevin? Do you think Andy Woodman has any kind of case here?
I think Mr. Woodman's language just alone was enough.
For sufficient enough.
Yeah, that's something I've got to get better at for sure.
But it's interesting, Woody, you talk about that because I was listening last Monday to the Superstar Breakfast Show, of course, with Adam McCoist and Jeff Stelling. They had former ref on as well. And I forget which former ref it was, but it was someone that's talking about the way that these refs are now being not only managed but coached. They're being coached by people that have never played the game or refed the game at this point. So it's interesting to see from the top tier with VAR being involved, which throws even more cats amongst the pigeons, to, in League Two, where we're seeing some really strange decision-making. And it just feels like there's a lack of common sense sometimes, Woody, with some of these decisions.
Yeah, I actually feel exactly that. I feel like there's people that have not really played the game or got really any understanding of the game. We got a penalty yesterday. Their guy kicked the ball to clear it away from his goal line and smashed his own player who was a yard away, and he gave us a penalty. And I'm like, with all due respect, I'm delighted I got a penalty, but I'm looking at it thinking, that is ridiculous. What did he kick at his own guy on purpose, and his own purpose, the guy got in the way to, stop it getting cleared? It's really like there should be some common sense with it.
But do you know what? Do you know what I think, Woody? And I've got to stick up for some of the refs here because I know we have a lot of refs listen to the show as well. And, we don't ever want to feel like we're going...
talk about our grassroots referees who do an outstanding job.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes in terrible situations.
But I think sometimes, like you said, Woody, this lack of the common sense versus... being by the letter of the law. I think we're finding this in life in general and in society. It's like, have a bit of a sort of,
take a breath.
Have a grey area.
Take a breath.
Yeah.
I always say it to referees, before you blow that whistle, take a breath and just think about what you're doing.
Even like we said, the Maresca thing yesterday with Chelsea, he's ended up being sent off, and Ekatike the other week with the, I think sometimes the letter of the law needs to kind of have a little bit of leeway with.
I agree. We don't want to take away the emotion of celebrations and the good times. And, I think that's a bit of a harsh one to get booked for celebrating a goal or taking a shot. I think that's a little bit tough. And I know that's the letter of the law and they have to do that. But on the flip side, you know, it's people's livelihoods at stake, and decisions are really important. And when they're so obvious, you kind of just can't pinch yourself enough, and that's really tough.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to change the subject now. I'm getting off refs, right? Because I've had my own issues, and I don't want to get another fine because I've had enough. I'm looking at your pictures behind. You've got some gloves on that wall there, right? With some lovely pictures and trophies and stuff. It can't be yours. It must be Freddie's,
Absolutely
right?
not, no. No, absolutely not.
So for those people who don't know, your son, Freddie Woodman, is now obviously stroke goalkeeper. We won't say number 1, 2 or 3, but he's a goalkeeper at Liverpool, right? He's just got that move. Tell me how he's finding it.
He's really enjoying it. I mean, it was a move that come out in summer. There was a couple of other options, but nothing quite like Liverpool, to be honest. And I mean, he's really embracing it and really, you know, enjoying the whole role of what he's gone there for. And actually, you know, through circumstances now, he's a little bit closer to the team. But yeah, when I'm hearing the insight of how the top managers work, as you know, Pards, and even now at this level, it's fantastic. And he's really embracing it, which is great for him.
Which brings me on nicely, Woody, to get your expertise as, you know, as a former goalie and a goalkeeping coach. We've just been talking about the Spurs keeper, Vicario. Now, I don't know how much you've seen of him and some of the mistakes. Now, we all know for a team to really go all the way, you know, and win championships and win regular silverware, the goalkeeper, the number 1 position is so important because, you know, the keepers are under such scrutiny. A mistake you guys make, can cost a game, it can cost points. What's your thoughts on Vicario? Do you think he has got the potential to be the number 1, or is it just too many? Because what I see with him is he makes mistakes, but he shouts a hell of a lot of people like he's the governor, but there's liabilities in him. I don't know what your thoughts are.
My thoughts when he first came over, he was a really good shot stopper.
Agreed.
And made some really big saves.
Big time.
But then physically, he got found out a little bit at set pieces, and then teams really played on it. And I think that's knocked his confidence, and he's kind of been, you know, not the same keeper at all. And if you're going to be a top keeper, and I listen to my son talk about Alisson. I mean, the level he's at, you know, that's your top keeper, and that's the level you've got to have if you're going to win anything, you know, at the top end. And I wouldn't say he's not that level, in my opinion. No. And you know, it's not my position to say that because you know, I've not been him, but definitely, you know, if I was Tottenham, they need to have a top number 1 if they're going to really do anything.
Yeah, let me just take Woody back a little bit here, because obviously you're carving out your own great managerial career, done an unbelievable job at Bromley. But I do remember when we're talking about goalkeepers, by the way, we played a pre-season game against Rio Ave, right? And I went to you, the goalie, he looks off the scale, like it's a pre-season friendly. Like, would he keep your eye on him, right? I think he's going to, I'm sure he's going to be going places. Go on, tell him who it was.
Well, it's funny because I didn't keep my eye on him because I got caught probably doing something else I should have been doing. And years later, I was watching Man City, and I heard the commentator say, yeah, he started off at Rio Ave. So I went back through my log of looking at the team sheets, and it was Edison that was the goalie against us that day.
Oh, wow. Can you believe it? So Newcastle
yeah, he was one that slipped through it, but I don't know if we'd have got a visa for him, Pards, so that's why I didn't chase it up.
I knew you'd find a way out.
We've got a message here from Ben, who's a Tranmere fan, says, lads, loving hearing Woody on the show. Good 3-3 draw yesterday with my beloved Tranmere Rovers. Onwards and upwards for both sides. So that's a lovely message there.
That's good.
Interesting perspective there on Vicario. Like you said, when he first came in, I was so impressed with him. Yeah. That confidence thing as a keeper, it can literally end careers. I've seen it with certain players, you know, who have had a mistake or something. You know, I remember Paul Robinson when he was England number 1. He had that mistake. Robbo was such a great keeper, and then I think that really dented him.
One of the boys that both me and Woody had, who sticks in my mind of a mistake he made that became massive, so big. He never let it go out of his mind, which was Roy Carroll. Do you remember the mistake at Man United? Yeah. And Roy, he wouldn't let it go, would he? It was always sort of sitting there, wasn't it, with him?
Everyone kept bringing it up.
Yeah.
Such a shame. Back to sort of business, Stevenage, a very local team to me. A lot of Stevenage scout a lot of the kids in our local area for like the grassroots thing. I know a lot of the young lads who are at Stevenage and young ladies actually.
Yeah, good club.
A big game for you guys on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday?
Yeah, we got them in the Virtue Cup. Stevenage are flying. Really good manager. Really got a lot of time for the manager there, and good club. Club I played for many years ago. It'll be tough. It'll be a tough place.
I'm going to have to come down to that, Woody. It's not far from me.
Yeah, get him a ticket, Woody.
Yeah, I'll get you a ticket there, Madge.
Because
No
you'll be
problem,
in the
mate.
stand, won't you? You won't be...
I need as much help and support as I can get. In fact, get a seat beside me on the bench.
That's it.
In fact, you probably have my seat.
That's
I'll
what
be
I'm
in the
saying. You won't be on the bench.
Listen, I'll put some glasses on. I'll pass for Woody. Listen, it's always a pleasure to hear from you, mate.
Thank you very much.
Good luck for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bromley
Cheers,
Gafford.
Madge. Cheers, Bards.
Cheers, mate.
Bromley Gafford. Listen, only this show.
And that's what, but, like when you got International Week coming up, right,
Thank
haven't we? But remember, we got League One, they're still playing, don't they? Lots of games.
Stevenage, great club, great ground.
Well, it's not a great ground for me.
Well, no, not good memories.
No. Got beat in the FA Cup when I was Newcastle manager. That was a tough day.
Oh, I can imagine.
A very tough day.
Who was Stevenage gaffer that night?
I don't really want to remember.
03717 223344. Still to come before we hand the baton over to Danny Kelly on Trans-Europe Express. We will reveal who our mystery footballer is, and apparently we're going to discuss Spurs. I think we've done that already.
No, we're not doing that.
It's Majestic Pards. Don't worry, I told you. I'm like Anchorman Ron Burgundy. Don't say the other word to anchor. It's Majestic. It's talkSPORT.
Blue Spanish
The very best of Engelbert Humperdinck from talkSPORT. That was number 1 from Engelbert Humperdinck with Spanish Eyes into song 2, One Step Beyond from Madness. And song 3 was Something Got Me Started by Simply Red. Lead singer, of course, Mick Hucknall, who is a big Man United fan. And the answer, Mr. Alan Pardew, was...
Mata.
Juan Mata, one of the nicest guys in football, by the way.
Outstanding footballer.
Outstanding footballer, lovely fella, loved by all, I think.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that he did in his time, which I thought, not sure about that.
First player to score a goal in the 100th minute of a Premier League game.
Oh, wow.
And first person to get it right was Matt, the Spurs fan, and our chief football correspondent.
Be a Spurs fan, wouldn't it?
Crookie got it right as well.
Did it? Crookie, he's clever, and
he's a clever guy. Right, now we asked for your WhatsApp messages, and as always, you did not disappoint. First up, we've got Graham, the Liverpool fan, not Graham Souness, is it? Who is not happy with what he's been hearing.
Lads, I've been listening all driving home from London, went to the game yesterday, Liverpool fan. Why is everyone saying how terrible we were? Like, the last 3 games, yeah? Like, beginning of the season, yeah? But we're a point behind Arsenal. We haven't turned up to a game yet. We've beaten Arsenal. Everyone's going to beat each other this year. Like, Mo is struggling big time because the Trent service is missing in behind. You know, there's nothing for him to run on to. He's struggling to link up with Verts. Yeah, I still think it's ours to win. Nice one, lads.
Brilliant call from Graham there. Lots of points I agree with him, actually. Next, we've got Sammy, the Man United fan, who has a few words on the managerial situation.
Oh.
Good evening, gents. And Alan, welcome back from South Africa. Hope you had a good time. Where do we draw the line of backing managers? Jose and Ole came second. Jose won the Europa League and had a bad run, and they were gone. I never want to see a manager be sacked, but at the same time, I don't think Ruben is the right man to take us forward.
Great points, to be fair.
Well, I'm a bit of a fan of Ruben, personally.
You're a fan?
I am a fan. I've always been a fan of his.
Of the way he is?
Of him as a person and the way he conducts himself. I'm so pleased he got that win. And as I said to you, I hope he gets away with his family and has a nice break and comes back and wins. What's his next game? Do you know his? I think it's a tough one. I think it might be Liverpool away.
It is, yeah, Liverpool.
Oh, I knew that. I was just testing you.
Right, last but not least, it's Colin, the Nottingham Forest fan, who has a song for us.
Oh.
Big Angie, whoa, Big Angie, whoa, I want you now to know, just pack your bags and go. Big Angie, whoa, Big Angie, whoa, you've gone and lost again, you are not fit to reign. Pack your bags, Angie, and make your way. Keep battling on, Reds.
And the Colin Nottingham Forest album is out this Monday, featuring songs like Big Angie's Time to Go and You Gotta Go, featuring...
He should stick that on AI and get some music to it. It weren't bad, actually.
It was very good, actually, indeed. That was your voice notes. Thank you very much. Don't forget 03717 22 3344 is the number. Right, we are about sort of 7 minutes away from the Trans-Europe Express. But first, should we get on the Transatlantic Express?
Absolutely.
Because joining us right now to discuss the England game against Wales, you've invited a special person, haven't you?
I have, because I thought it would be nice to have a little feature on here, because we he is like the leader of the free world, the Donald.
The Don.
The Donald. So, and obviously with the internationals coming up, I thought it might be nice for Donald to have his say on such matters. So it's England versus Wales this week. Donald, what are you thinking?
It's so great to be here, Pardew. Coach Pardew, to me, a lot of people don't know that me and Coach Pardew actually had a lot of great times together in Trump Towers.
Yeah.
And a lot of golf.
A lot of golf.
A lot of golf. A lot of great golf, actually. Great player. Congratulations on the Ryder Cup, by the way. You guys deserved it.
Yeah, we did.
I got to say, England against that city that they have in Britain, Wales. Is it city, right?
Well, no, it's actually a country. It's very difficult.
It's a country?
It's a country.
But they don't have a parliament. They have a school assembly.
Yeah, well, it's kind of integrated into our... Yeah, it's
an assembly is where they sing songs and do the Harvest Festival now?
Yeah, you haven't got the gist of it. But anyway, it's a football match, a soccer match to you.
A soccer match. I love the soccer. Great soccer. Did you know my mother was from Scotland?
Well, I did understand that because you've purchased the Turnberry, which is a very good course, by the way.
Great place, great place. I don't know about the Rangers at the moment. The Rangers not doing so great.
Not so good. I would like to just ask you just quickly on the Jude Bellingham. He's our star player.
He's a great player.
No,
Jude.
Well, do you know him?
I know him very well.
Okay.
I know his brother Job.
He's been left out, this guy, for the England squad, and he's perfectly fit. Do you think you have any advice for Thomas?
I think that's a very bad move. Very bad move. You never leave your MVPs out. Never leave the MVs.
Okay.
Harry Kane is another MVP. You wouldn't leave him out, would you?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a great player. But, I got to say, Jude Bellingham's a great player. Great guy as well. So why would you leave him out?
Well, I'm a little bit, personally, if you're asking my opinion, I'm surprised by it, and I'm hoping it's not going to come back and bite him. You know yourself, making presidential decisions is a very, very difficult thing. And if you make the wrong decision, it can have an impact on, issues further down the line.
Exactly. You don't leave MVPs out. That's why I'm not going to leave Jill, the United fan, out of this show.
Is Jill available?
Jill has messaged saying that she's tried to call twice, but had no joy. That's very bad.
It's very bad.
So Don is going to say, thank you very much, Jill, for loving the show. Great girl. Don't forget, England take on the Almighty Assembly of Welsh.
Yes.
On Thursday. It's going to be presented by one of the greatest, Adrian Durham.
Oh, you know of Adrian.
I do know Adrian very well. He's a great guy. Commentary from Jim Proudfoot and the psycho himself, former England captain Stuart Pearce, and Welsh defender from the Assembly, Tom Lockyer. It's going to be great.
Well, Donald, it's very kind of you to come and join us, and I hope we see you next week.
I don't know if he'll be back or not.
It'd be nice to have him back. I liked him. It's
a nice reminder that on talkSPORT 2 is all about the NFL. That's all from us today. The talkSPORT Breakfast Show's back tomorrow from 6 a.m. with Super Adi McCoist, joined by the former Aston Villa striker Gabby Agbonlahor. And it's a huge week for big-name guests on talkSPORT Breakfast Show, including former tennis champion and broadcaster, the legend, Sue Barker's in the building.
Sue Barker?
Yeah. A legendary cyclist as well, Geraint Thomas, and comedian Alan Davies.
A question of sport.
Yeah, plus 4 times British champion jockey Ocean Murphy. But if you need some music in your life, go to the talkSPORT app and swipe across the friend of the show, Chris Evans on Virgin Radio. The Final Word returns next Sunday, but coming up next here on talkSPORT, it's time for all the latest from across the continent of the Trans-Europe Express. From me, the Dan.
And from me, Alan.
Good night.